Dude, it is funny. Every time I drive through Ohio, it's overcast. Like, it is just,
Because it's shit, man. It
yeah,
just is what it is,
yeah. We like got back over the PA border, and it all of a sudden it got sunny. I was like, wow, that's just kind of on point. But
His name is Obi Toppin. That's who I was trying
Obi
to think of.
Toppin.
God damn. Yeah, no, Cleveland. There's like a direct border between Ohio and Pennsylvania is
Yeah,
sunshine and then sadness.
yeah.
It's just a fucking stupid state. I just can't stand it.
It is a stupid state. I've always like I've been hearing like over the past like few years that Columbus apparently is like the place to be if you're a young person, and I just refuse to believe that.
Yeah, here's kind of why I refuse to believe that, because um any other city ever, that's kind of the only counter I really think I need to say. Like Pittsburgh, much better for young people.
Oh, yeah.
Nashville, much better for young people. Vegas,
Boston,
any city in Florida,
Atlanta,
Boston,
like
fuck Boise.
Yeah, probably
might be competitive. Yeah, everyone that says like everyone that goes crazy like, dude, no, you haven't been to Columbus. Exactly.
Yeah,
I've been to other cities, other cool, not Columbus cities. Jackson, Biloxi, Mississippi State, Oxford, Tupelo, Hattiesburg, Gulfport.
Yeah.
Cities in Oklahoma. Tulsa. Stillwater. Muskogee. Oh, I spelled that one.
Yeah, just keep going, man. Feel free.
I'm just gonna look at hold on, I got one more.
Just gonna wait here by myself on air.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm good now.
Okay, cool. Hey guys, this is All Purpose Garbage, the college football show for idiots. I'm idiot number 1, making his return. Idiot number 2 is with me as well, Mr. Deke Whiten. Deke, it's been a while. How's it going?
Been exactly 2 weeks.
It has been exactly 14 days. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I'm here. I'm alive. It's going well. It's December. I looked at the clock because my mom asked me if it had been 4 months since I got or 6 months since I got my COVID shot. Yeah. And I was like, I got that shit in like the 4th month of the year. That's what my card says. And I looked and I was like, oh shit.
Shit. Yep.
It's December.
It's ripe time. Yeah, I'm almost due. Almost due as well for that. Big week in college football though.
For some of us.
What do you mean? For some of us,
I feel like you've been in a depression for a while now.
I have. Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it in my PSU talk. But before we jump into it, Deke, are you drinking anything tonight?
I didn't 2 weeks ago because I was sick and I was going home for Thanksgiving. But it is back on the Coors grind for the month of December. Shout out to Coors. The mountains are blue. These aren't because I accidentally left them out, but I'm still drinking it because I love Coors. Our amazing, wonderful sponsors over at Coors PGH.
Yeah, appreciate you guys over there. As per usual, I'm drinking on some Banquet. Big shout out to Coors. Big shout out to Coors, especially because of their help on the Movember campaign. So appreciate everyone donating to that. We raised around $1,400, which absolutely demolished what we did last year, which is it's just something really cool to be a part of. So appreciate everyone, helping us push to do that. Means a ton. So, and Coors was a big part of that because I think we got our biggest donation through their page. So
some people are saying that we have done more than Thon at this point in our lives, and I just want to say to those people, you're not wrong.
Dude, you know what? So I'm probably gonna get, if any Penn State people see this, I'll probably get shit on.
Fuck you guys. There you go, buddy. I got you.
Thon people are weird, dude.
So as much as I shit on Penn State for being a cult, Thon is the juice that you guys drink. Like that's the thing. And you're helping kids. I love kids. That's why I like
it's a great cause. It's
waving at kids.
Yep, it is one of those things that you go to, because I did it one year where I was like Thon chair for my fraternity, and I was also on like a committee for that. And it is really cool when you're there in like the last hours or whatever they're called. It is really cool. It's kind of fucking heavy too, but like,
oh, sure,
it's something cool to be a part of. But man, people get way too fucking into it.
Do you guys drink for Thon?
No,
that's the weirdest part to me.
So frowned upon. It is, well, because there are tons of kids.
There's kids there.
Yes, Like the Four Diamonds kids are there. Like the kids with
that makes it a
cancer
little
are
cooler.
there.
I
Yeah.
always assumed it was just a giant party where Penn State kids got massively fucked up
See,
and then
like
said
I
that they
think
were doing stuff
that
for the
would be
world.
cool. It would be cool. You wouldn't be able to pull it
Huh.
off for 48 hours, or 46 or whatever it is. But
That's a good point.
but you have little kids with cancer running around. You can't really do that. So
Yeah, I mean, you could.
good. It's
frowned upon.
very frowned upon though.
Deal. Noted.
Yeah, Thon people.
Next time I go to Penn State, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, Thon people can be a little weird. Like they just get too into it. Like you said, it's the juice that the cult drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's the Jesus juice, baby.
It's fun. Those people were, and again, I'm probably gonna get shit on. It's a great cause and all that, but dude, like, some of y'all need to fucking calm down. Deke, let's just jump right into it. It's been 2 weeks. Took a little bit of a hiatus last week because
got a lot of shit to cover.
A lot of shit. Tried to keep it kind of condensed. Start with the biggest story of the weekend, at least in my. And there have been
by
a lot.
far.
And there have been a lot of stories. Harbaugh did not pull a Harbaugh, and I'm genuinely shocked. This was one of those games where there were numerous times. I was watching it in the hotel before the wedding I was at, and I had to watch it because it was such a big game. And every time I looked up, I saw Ohio State was down in the second half, and for a half second, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" God damn it! It just had to be Michigan being the ones that are doing it.
Yeah,
you know, like,
it was frustrating as fuck, to be honest with you. And I think that while I was watching the game, I kept waiting for the moment. When Michigan fucked up, I kept waiting for it. And it here's the thing: I don't know if they really beat Ohio State, but it never came. And that rushing attack is elite.
Hassan Haskins is a dog. That dude, 5 touchdowns, 169 yards on the ground, like just absurd. Like and I was watching that game and I was thinking the same thing you were. I was like, how are they going to fuck it up? But at the same time, it never felt like they were going to. They had control. No. Once you hit halftime, they had control of the game. Period.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time in my memory that Ohio State, well, maybe last year too, a little bit, to be fair. But last year was such an anomaly for teams out of it. This was one of the first years in Ohio State where they didn't have a defensive player that can absolutely blow your team the fuck up. Because we go from the Bosos to Chase Young. You know what I mean? Like, you can throw a lot of Ohio State elite edge rushers. They just don't feel like they had the guy that's going to blow up Michigan this year. And I think that Stroud kind of got exposed a little bit because here's the thing. I don't think he did anything this year to win the Heisman or be considered the best quarterback or anything like that. All he did was the Bryce Young theory of don't mess up. Just do what you got to do, man. And
he was playing well.
Playing very well. But he's not good enough right now to make a team win a game like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with that one.
That's the thing. And I do think that their O-line was not as elite as they normally are.
Yes.
And there were times this year, whether it was Minnesota the first game of the year, and you can call that an anomaly right there because it is the first week of the year against Minnesota. But they did not look great then. They put up a ton of points because they have the weapons. But Stroud just never looked like the guy. In the next few years, I think he could be scary. Probably, but I'm not. I've never been sold on Stroud. He's had too many guys around him, and he has what many people would consider. I don't know about now because he was severely outcoached. But Ryan Day is
a top 5 coach.
Yeah,
I think
he's one of the best play callers in the country. But this was a shocker to me because Michigan has just shit the bed so many times. And they
also, for CJ Stroud's sake, you got to keep in mind they got young Jabroni coming in next year. Granted, he'll be a true freshman, but there's just something to be said about CJ Stroud. You know, he'll probably be the starter next year. Go into it. If he has one bad game, though, they're going to go with the kid. Yeah, whatever what's the little white dude's name?
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. Yep. Big fan of him.
That's the thing though. Stroud played well enough all year where you couldn't really say, like, if you were an Ohio State fan, you couldn't at any point say,
No.
like, hey, put the freshman in. Like,
Yep.
he was playing. Now, granted, it was a down Heisman year, and I get that, but he was playing at a rate that was putting him in, at least in the conversation. So, like,
Yeah. 100%.
but like, yeah, dude, Michigan, 487 yards total offense. That's fucking nuts. And like, if you were watching the game, you're like, this is fucking Big Ten football. Just
Yes. Yeah.
run it down their fucking throat
In the
the
snow.
snow.
Yep.
Like, and like, I want to feel happy for Michigan fans because that is a huge hump to get over. But they're just gonna be so fucking annoying over the next 9 months. It's gonna be
Yeah.
insufferable.
It's going to be a lot. But like you said, man, Michigan didn't fuck up. That's
Yep.
why they won. And that's why they are, as we get to later in the show, number 2 in the country.
Yep, absolutely. Also, Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajobo, fucking lethal.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are
big fan of
insane.
Ajobo after that. And Hutchinson rose, as we'll get to later, some boards. So,
Yep. Big game for Michigan up there. Cowboys win Bedlam, and they didn't chase Lincoln Riley out of Norman because he was already on his way out. But
yeah, he announced before this game, right?
no. So
Was it after? Okay.
It was after. The game itself, we got to talk about that first. Oklahoma State, I think, is actually very good. Very well-rounded team. Defense is very good. Had sort of a comeback. They were kind of on the ropes a little bit, but they pulled it out like they have most of the year. And they're a very, very solid team they're in a great fucking place to make the playoff. Like, incredible place. I'm happy for my guy, Mike Gundy. Like,
yeah, that's the name Gundy's a dog. He's a god. There's a lot of situations that are going to come out in the next week. Obviously, Bama and Georgia are on a piss missile course towards one of each other.
Yep.
If Cincy loses, they're out. I think that Michigan obviously wins out there. And I think that the only secure team is Georgia at the moment. Alabama needs to win that game. If they don't, they're most likely out.
Most likely.
So there's really 3 good chances for Oklahoma State to get in if they can continue winning. And I would love to see Oklahoma State in the 4, to be honest.
I agree. It's different. That's the thing. They would be a different team to get in, and that's what I want to see. Let's get to the other side of the coin. Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley.
I love this. Fucking frauds.
Fucking frauds. So there's a lot of levels to this because Oklahoma fans right now are just so aghast that Lincoln Riley would ever do this. They're just so fucking upset about this.
Yep.
I don't know why, because if you think about it, and granted, I think that the Pac-12 has been down for a long time. USC has been down for a long time. It's not what it used to be. However, you get a guy like Lincoln Riley who can recruit like no other, who's already getting the recruits that USC would normally get in California, is just going to go to California now and lock it down.
Yeah, they already got their commit. It was a 5-star running back and 5-star quarterback who originally committed to Oklahoma are now going to USC.
Yep.
That's I have no ill will against Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
I hate Oklahoma. I think that they're a schedule frauds. I am interested to see if he can replicate at USC. But here's the problem that I have with the way the fans are treating this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we should be mad at Lincoln Riley. We should be mad at college sports that players can't do this as easy. That's all I want. I want a player to be able to transfer and play for another team that next year. Because guess what? Lincoln Riley doesn't get to take time off, and he terminated his contract and quit and went and got a private jet. So,
yep. Yeah, and did you see his deal?
I saw it. It was they're buying him a $6 million mansion in LA. They're buying his house in Oklahoma for $500,000 over.
Both of his houses.
24/7 private jet usage. And I think it was 110 mil over 10 years or something like that.
They gave him the bag, bro. They gave him the bag.
How are you ever, like, from human to human? The only people in the world that can be mad at that are people that think Oklahoma is a top 4 franchise in the world, like more than Google.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't make sense as a human to human. No one in the world is turning down that deal.
Yeah, and I mean that I don't know if this is it. I don't really think this is it, but people were kind of saying that it's because he saw the writing on the wall. Oklahoma going to the SEC. He would not fit in the SEC. He just wouldn't. Just like Lane Kiffin hasn't quite taken off in the SEC. You got to play defense. Lincoln Riley's not really known for that.
No, and you know what else isn't? The pack. So
Yep. That's the thing.
The writing on the wall shit, I get it. Like, it's very clearly that had to be a part of the decision. Like, let's not act like it isn't. But at the same time, $6 million mansion, 24/7 private jet usage, 110 mil over 10 years, 2 houses being bought for $500,000 over
Bro,
market
he is
value.
profiting $1 million just on his houses.
He could, for that deal, I would go coach D3 football. If you know what I mean, like the school almost does. USC is a great school. USC has history. It's California. He's going to be living the dream, but the bag is what got him.
Yeah, the bag is what got him. Like I mentioned before, I think the recruits are another big part of that because you always talk about 3 states, California, Texas, and Florida, as being the hotbeds of recruiting for football. California, year in, year out, has 5-star skill players, whether it's quarterback, running back, wide receiver. And he's that in his backyard now. There have not been any coaches since Pete Carroll that have gone out there and have been able to pull it off.
And is there a California school that even recruits well? Like UCLA is always kind of dog shit.
USC
like they're
used
okay.
to be it. That's the thing.
But that's my point. There's no one winning the West Coast battle now. They're all going to the Oklahomas, the Texases, the bigger name schools.
Ohio State, like Clemson, absolutely.
You get out there and you create a culture at that university, dude. You got the entire West Coast.
You got to lock down, absolutely lock the fuck down. So I can't fault him. It was funny how he
I
was
love it.
A little bit of a weasel move. How he's like, he knew that he was taking the fucking job. Like, it's not like this happened. Like, because he made it out to be, because I think this part's bullshit, but he made it out to be like he got the phone call as soon as he landed back in Oklahoma after the game, or landed back in Norman after the game.
I mean, he might have got the phone call which said, "Hey,
Sure.
yeah, we're going to buy both those houses."
Sure, yeah, but like that was in the works for a while, and just the fact that like last week, and we didn't obviously cover it on the show, but his quote was, "I will not be the head coach at LSU next year." And he was very careful about that. So like he knew that USC was it. So that was a little weird and kind of a weasel move. Just not even a weasel move. Like, it's coach talk, you know. Like, no matter what coach you're gonna, like, James Franklin was honestly more confusing about whether or not he was gonna leave. And Penn State,
he was super out there.
That's the thing. Like, he kept it so vague. He was like, "Oh, there's a lot of moving pieces." Lincoln Riley just flat out said, "Yeah, I'm not going to this school, but I'm probably going to."
I think that the interesting thing for me here, so Malachi Nelson was the 5-star quarterback that was supposed to go to the Sooners, is now going out to USC. But the name here, honestly, that I think has the biggest instant gut boost, if Lincoln Riley is a QB whisperer, which I think he's just a good offensive coordinator, is Kedon Slovis. Because he's a junior. If I'm Slovis, who was projected to be a top 3 quarterback in this class, guess who is not a top 3 quarterback in this class? Slovis. I'm coming back. I'm saying, "Coach, I got 1 year left. Let me be your starter. I'll run your offense, and let me be the first overall pick in the draft."
Yep. Something I heard that was interesting. People were now throwing it around that Caleb Williams will hit the transfer portal and transfer to USC.
I don't blame him. I don't know if he's better or worse than Slovis at the moment. He's definitely not better than Malachi when Malachi hits that age. Yep. I'm curious to see where the Rat transfers to. Who even wants him?
I don't know. No one. He's going to go to like Missouri. He's going to pull a Kelly Bryant and go to like Missouri or something.
I swear. He's going to go to some lower tier school. I mean, go to Liberty. Fuck. Look what they did to Malik Willis.
Well, yeah. And yeah, dude, the Rat. I like that. Dude, but by all accounts, he really is like a shithead. Like,
he came into college football with the highest following ever on social media. He comes out supposed to be the Heisman favorite, and something had to have been wrong, because it's the same offense as last year. You're playing the same competition. You're supposed to be a year better, and you're supposed to be a top 15 pick in the draft, Heisman winner, and you get benched the first time Lincoln Riley has ever benched a quarterback midseason. Bro, if I signed that NIL deal as the car dealership, I'd be like, "Hey, give me them back."
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, but crazy story. Crazy story. I don't have it on here. Deke, who do you think? What do you think was the bigger story? Because I personally think it was Lincoln Riley or Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame for LSU.
I think the bigger story is Lincoln Riley. I think that LSU is stupid and Brian Kelly is smart because I don't think Brian Kelly's a great coach. I
Really?
hate Notre. I just hate Notre
I
Dame
hate Notre
so
Dame. I
fucking
think he's a
much.
great coach. I think he's kind of an
I
asshole,
okay.
but
Well, that okay. So maybe that's what it is for me. LSU needed, in my mind, something different. They just came
yeah.
from who was the coach for Coach O? Um,
Wasn't it
he was there
wasn't
for a minute
Les
though. I think.
it was it Les Miles?
I think it was Les
I
Miles,
thought I
and
can't
then
remember if they had someone in between or not. I don't think they did actually.
but they go to Coach O, who was interim, who everyone just loved, and he was like the face of the fucking state for a
Yep.
while. And
Still
then,
will be, by the way.
yeah, but then you're bringing in a guy that I don't know. He just feels really fucking fabricated for that I don't know. It didn't feel right to me.
Yep.
Like it's kind of like okay, so you got Penn State's linebacker coach going to Tech. You got
Yep.
the Raging Cajuns coach going to Florida. Both of those moves feel like bright, fresh start, new opportunities. Kelly just didn't for me when LSU needed it, I think. But also they just pumped so much money into their facility and shit. I guess they
Yep.
need to kickstart it now. So
Yep. I think he will be one of those guys that he will get them back near the top and
okay,
have them stick around for a while. Because that's kind of what he does. Like, whether it was at Cincy or at Notre Dame, he kind of
it's like fireworks outside my apartment.
What? What'd you say?
There's like fireworks outside my apartment. Either that or someone's getting shot.
Uh oh. First ever homicide on all purpose garbage? Nah, nothing. All right.
I mean, there's definitely something.
Yeah.
When the Tits play, the Jets fly over my apartment building. It scares the fuck out of me. So I thought
Yeah.
that was it. And I'm like, nah, it's Thursday. All right, I didn't die. So what's up?
Um, we'll move on then. Bama
Snuck it out.
snuck it out. Bama, dude, I know, I get that Auburn's defense is good,
Yes.
but they were down 10-3 with 24 seconds left. That's not the number 2 or 3 team in the
No.
nation. Like,
And that's a tough pill to swallow for Alabama.
yep. And granted, Auburn does. Bo Nix wasn't really playing, but Auburn does weird things at home. The
Yes, they
Iron
do.
Bowl is definitely different. No matter what, it's always a wild card. No matter what it is, especially at Auburn. But you can't go up against a team that ended up 6-6 and winning 4 overtimes.
Yeah.
That's just that to me is like you can't do that. Absolutely.
No, I got to watch this game and it. I was watching at the Moorhead's house, and the thing that like with the overtimes, I liked it better that this was the overtime solution here than the Penn State Illinois.
Yeah.
But either way, you look at this and you're like, dude, like, I kind of feel like they could have slipped to 5, and I would not have thought twice about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been you have to beat Georgia to get in, no questions asked.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just think the committee just has boner for Bama, and it's almost like I don't want to say it's earned because like
you
but,
want to see the
like-
best players play in the playoff is
Yeah.
the tough thing.
yeah. But yeah, Bama squeaks it out. They keep on winning in the Iron Bowl. Coach O, I don't have much to say on this game outside of hey, he fucking went out. He went out on top, Deke. It makes me smile. You want to know what he's doing? You want to know what he did after the game? He flew right
What's
to
that?
Florida, and he was gonna. How much was it? It was a $16.9 million contract buyout. He's flying to
What?
Destin, Florida. It's paid out over like 4 years or something, but
Still
still,
$4 million a year is oof.
yep.
I love that.
But like, I was glad to see, and they won it with like 20 seconds left. But I was glad to see that Coach O goes out on top, like he should.
Jeez.
He's the king of Louisiana, and always will be. Because of that, we'll miss you, man.
This
Yeah.
is sad.
This is sad, but
Go Tigers.
go Tigers. And he gave an all-time go Tigers in that interview after the game, and he was just so fucking happy. So
I love that he used to bring his girlfriends to practice.
all right. Well, that was a legend. I don't think he actually did.
No,
that.
that was a legend.
Oh,
That was a legend.
he is a legend.
Go Tigers.
But shout out Coach O. He really will be like one of the most remembered coaches of all time. I mean, he's riding
it's
off
the greatest team I've ever seen. Yeah,
he's riding off into the sunset. You know, he came in being like he was the state of Louisiana, grew up there.
Yes.
Won a national title there in the job that he always wanted. And he won the last game that he was ever there. You can't help but smile. They ended up 6-6, so it's not like a great year. But like, come on, you got to be happy for him. And then since he remains unbeaten, they did what they have to. This is going to be the toughest
surprise
week.
there.
Yeah, I mean they were playing ECU, so I wasn't really that surprised. But they are playing Houston this week in the AAC title game. That's going to be a big one because Houston's actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's a game I'm excited because when they win that, hopefully it shuts some people up. So we'll see.
Yep. But yeah, that they need it at this point. I think if they win, they're in. They've done literally everything right.
Yep.
To this point, and they've been on they've been riding pretty high. They beat the fuck out of SMU too. So.
Yeah, that was the only other game we talked about that one being the
Yep.
one we were kind of worried about for them, and absolute shit pumping.
Yep, absolutely. That's all they really need though. Winning in. All right, rankings. At this point, AP rankings don't really fucking mean anything. So
no, but they do, but they don't.
Yeah. Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Cincy, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I think, is done. They have no chance.
Mm.
Brian Kelly's out.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm just being realistic.
Could you imagine though if they get in and Brian Kelly already said like that?
Well, did you see how Brian Kelly left?
No.
He had a team meeting at 7:00, and he was out of the building at 7:11. A lot of players he told over text. He was gone.
So wait, he's done there.
Oh, he's done. That's why I'm saying I don't think Notre Dame's getting in. Period.
Oh, I hope they get in. Oh man, do I hope they get in?
I don't think they're getting in, man.
That would be so. I hope they win the Natty.
That would
really,
be that would actually be kind of electric.
Would he get a ring, you think?
Yeah, he would.
Wow. Oh, I want that to happen.
Yeah, he's not going to, but
probably not, but worth a shot.
Yeah, Oklahoma State. So if you look at it, let's say Alabama loses to Georgia, which I think they're going to.
Agreed.
I think. That knocks them out. Since he stays in, if they win, I think Oklahoma State, if everything stays the same, Michigan pulls it out against Iowa, I think Oklahoma State has a real shot of getting in. And I think the committee is saying that because it's like, hey, we felt like we had to put Alabama up there, but we also think Oklahoma State is probably going to be the fourth team. So,
yeah, I'm upset. I'll be at a wedding this Saturday, but hopefully I can.
Same.
I think the wedding's later, so hopefully I can watch that game at 3.
Yeah.
No, the only other teams that I have big issues with where they are, Hill Smalls, is I was surprised that Michigan State was still in the double digits. I thought that they would make a nice leap. I don't know who I would pull out. Maybe Ole Miss, just because fuck you. And then shout out to Pitt, still being in there, still 15th, still hanging on.
Yep. Shout out.
They play Wake Forest.
Wake Forest ACC championship game, big game.
I told Greg, I said it's the game of the Steelers' next quarterback. If Sam Hartman wins, she's gonna rise up draft boards, baby.
Oh yeah,
I love that kid.
Well, okay, answer me this: who would you rather have, Sam Hartman or Kenny Pickett?
I would rather have Kenny Pickett.
Same. So hear me out. Do you think it'd be better as a Steeler fan if Wake Forest wins this game, Sam Hartman rises up, overtakes Kenny Pickett, and then he falls to the Steelers?
Going to get a first round grade, but anything that can make Kenny Pickett be a Steeler, I'm down for.
Same.
So yes,
that's all I kind of. That's all.
I'm not going to say I want Pitt to lose this game, but if Pitt losing this game gets the Steelers Kenny Pickett, I will accept it.
Yep. Okay, that's fair.
Sorry, Greg.
Let me see if there's really anything. There's
I mean,
nothing
shout out to
else.
Clemson for being
Yeah,
fucking still
Clemson.
ranked.
Yeah. Hey, man, they came on strong at the end of the year. They're not a bad team now.
It looks good for next year.
Yep.
Maybe.
Texas A&M still being ranked in both polls is a little shocking.
A little shocking, yeah.
But
I'll take that.
Okay. On tap. What do you got?
Yes, sir. Just pulling up another mock draft here. We have a mock draft from CBS. This one is wonky as fuck. It is written by Ryan Wilson 2 hours ago. And the reason I say 2 hours ago is because that's one, when it was written. Two, he must have been at fucking happy hour. So he has number one pick in the draft, Aiden Hutchinson, who we both agree he's a senior coming out of Michigan, defensive end dude, has a high motor. He's going to be a captain on some team. High, everything off the charts for this dude. Positional rank still comes in as 3, overall prospect 7th. There's a lot of concerns with Kayvon Thibodeau in health, so maybe the Lions go safe. I think the Lions would be idiots to do so, but you can't go wrong with Hutchinson. Pick number 2 is the Houston Texans, position rank 1, 10th prospect overall, Matt Corral going to the Texans. I'm very interested to see what the Texans do because they still have Deshaun Watson. I think this offseason we're going to see Deshaun Watson moved and or retire in some facet. I do think he's done for the Texans. Kayvon Thibodeau falls to the Jets, who take him, and then Evan Neal, which would probably be the best thing in Jets history because they have a defensive end and an offensive line that can actually do some shit. And then back-to-back picks for the Giants here, which is really interesting. Kyle Hamilton and Derek Stingley Jr. The Giants walk out of this mock draft with arguably the best secondary they've ever had, considering how shit it's been recently. But they have Kyle Hamilton listed as the number 1 prospect overall and Stingley listed as the 3rd. So love that one. And then other notable names that we normally talk about, they have the Falcons at 12, taking the 2nd positional pick of Kenny Pickett. So they do have him up and up boards, Smalls. I do see the chance of him getting to the Steelers slim every single day. But the big concern here is that there's a couple big names going here before the Steelers have a pick. So Carson Strong goes 13 to the Saints. My only issue with this is that I think Jameis Winston played very well. And Carson Strong has some injury concerns, so we'll see. The Eagles take Garrett Wilson, who I love. The only question I have here is that the Browns at 15, he has them taking Jameson Williams. Garrett Wilson, obviously gone. Chris Olave still on the board. Dawson's still on the board. Drake London still on the board. Not that anything is wrong with Jameson Williams. I think in the combine, he'll do a nice jump. But just a lot of wide receivers there. So that'll be interesting to see the Browns fuck that pick up. And then last one we'll talk about here. Shout out to Iowa. Tyler Linderbaum, offensive line going to the Steelers. He is the 2nd offensive lineman in the ranking, the 5th overall prospect, and we finally get an offensive lineman we can be happy about in the city of Pittsburgh.
Nice. Yeah. God, I want Kenny Pickett to fall.
I would love it, man.
Yep.
It just feels so good.
Yeah. I know he's a pick guy, but god damn it, he's awesome. He's just so fucking cool. And I say it every week, but
he's so dope.
Yeah.
He's so fucking dope. You can't even hate him.
Yeah. That was more Mocky Talkie and on top of Deke. Let's move on to Mike Leach.
He couldn't get me a shrunken head, so I got a t-shirt.
All right, coach quote of the week. God, I hate him. And it was anyone else, I would say 100% it was the dopest quote of all time. But I had to do him dirty at least a little bit here, even after his big win. So take a look at that pasty ghost up there. But Jim Harbaugh did come out after the Ohio State game and just the ultimate shit talking here. Some people were born on 3rd and think they hit a triple. So he came out after and said that this was a shot at the Ohio State players, trash talking before the game, thinking that they're all high and muddy. I think really he was talking about Ryan Day.
This is Ryan Day to a T because you look at Ohio State's continued success from even before Urban, but Urban gets there and they are top 4 every single year. Ryan Day steps in and continues the success, which is impressive in its own right. And I don't think Ohio State necessarily looked bad. They just got their shit kicked in by Michigan. Yep. I love this quote. I think it's hysterical. The way he tried to spin it, but this is 100%. There's no way this was not about Ryan Day.
It just and that's the thing. Like Ryan Day, I think this year, I don't know what it was this year. I don't think it's the recruiting that's the problem. I think they had some defensive issues for sure that kept coming up. I think CJ Stroud is just young, but Ryan Day, say what you will about it, and it seemed like maybe this is the year where they were going to start falling off. And it very well might be. But do you know he's 23-1 against Big Ten teams?
Yes, this was the first time, right?
The first loss. The first loss.
Unbelievable.
So like you can't really talk that much shit on Ryan Day, but this was an all-time quote, even though I fucking hate Jim Harbaugh. Fucking creep. Big games this week, Deke. Straight up conference championships.
I want everyone to be in utter chaos.
Yes. I would agree
Chaos.
with that. I would agree with that. All right. So we'll get started with probably the biggest one. Actually, definitely the biggest game. Not because I think it'll have the biggest impact necessarily, but if Georgia wins, they're obviously in, and Alabama probably gets knocked out.
Yes.
If Alabama wins, it becomes a question of does Georgia stay in?
I think that it would go. So in this scenario, Michigan wins. So in Cincy, let's just say that if Cincy, Michigan, Alabama win, I think that it goes Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, Cincy.
Yep. I agree with that. Yeah.
Which means that Georgia and Alabama play again.
Yep. That'd be incredible.
I would love it. I would love it.
That would be so cool. I don't think that's gonna happen though, because I do think now. What I'll say is that this is gonna be a very close game.
I hope so.
It's gonna be. I think it'll probably be kind of low scoring, but Georgia's defense is just so fucking elite, and Alabama can't outrun the ball. They can't fucking do it, and their O-line's not that great this year. Bryce Young is good. He's not great, but the thing they have going for him is they're coached by the greatest coach of all time, and he's the greatest game planner of all time. I think it's gonna be Georgia, but I think it's gonna be very close.
Yeah, I'm going with Georgia as well, just because it's like you said, it's one of the best defenses we've ever seen. And if this is not the year, Kirby Smart's got to go.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if he's got to go, but he might have.
It's just
to bow
never
out.
happening.
Yeah, I think he might just have to leave. Michigan, Iowa. I don't know if this one's going to be that close. I'm going Michigan because Michigan is just on a fucking roll, and I know that Iowa has been winning of late, but I think they've just been kind of reeling and going through the motions, if I'm being completely honest.
Like, you know what, man? My Michigan senses were just off by a week. Give me Iowa. Michigan fucks it up somehow, some way.
See, I don't hate that, and I want that to be true. I do want that to be true.
I don't think it'll happen. I know it will happen.
Okay, wow. See, I don't hate that. I just think that Iowa's offense just sucks so bad.
That it does. That
maybe
tracks.
They'll pull something crazy, but like I don't see it because Michigan's defense is pretty fucking good. Oregon, Utah. Utah, I think it was 2 weeks ago, beat the fuck out of Oregon. It wasn't even close. However, they're rematched again. I don't think this is going to be nearly the same game. I'm going to take Oregon in this one as the dog, actually.
Yeah, I'm going Utah. I'm a big fan of, if we've already, I think there was a quote by the poet Schoolboy Q: "If I fucked her once, I can fuck her twice." And so I think that if you can beat a team once, you can beat them twice.
Again, I don't hate that. I think that one's kind of a toss-up. I think it's going to be a great fucking game. Got some Friday Night Football, actually. Baylor, Oklahoma State. Taking Oklahoma State. Just because I do think the Baylor is really good. Baylor has one of the best rushing offenses in the country. I think it's, what, 5th? Yep. No, 10th. 10th best rushing team in the nation.
Holy shit.
Oklahoma State, the 5th best rushing and pass defenses in the nation. Oklahoma State's defense is fucking good, especially playing in the Big 12. That's fucking impressive, putting up those numbers. I don't think Baylor's going to be able to pull it out. Even if they jump up early, Oklahoma State has shown that they're just resilient and will just make any game a game and come back.
Yeah, I'm going with Okie State as well. I'm going to pick, if Oklahoma State keeps going, I might put money on them to win a natty just because
Yep.
they exposed Oklahoma for the fucking frauds that they are.
Yep.
So Oklahoma State, you're the official team of all-purpose garbage right now.
Absolutely. Big Cowboys fans. Big, what are they called? The Pokes?
Yeah. Big poke.
Yeah, big pokers.
Poker face. Poke them up. Poke them up.
Pokers. We got Pitt, Wake Forest. Deke, I actually didn't realize this. Over the last, 3 or 4 years, Pitt has won 2 division titles in the ACC.
Yeah, ACC's terrible.
Well, yeah, I was
Other than
more
Clemson, but their division.
given praise to Pitt because
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of impressive. No one really thinks about that.
Pitt's not that bad. They're just not. They're like
They're not
I
what
don't
you
know.
think of as really good. of a
no,
really
they're
good
never going to
football
be
program.
the team, but they're good.
They might be
Look
one
at 'em.
day. They might come back one day. I
That'd
mean,
be sick.
I think without Kenny Pickett, it might be a little rough next year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So just because he brings that much, but I think the difference in this game, I think it's going to be a fucking shootout. Sam Hartman versus Pickett.
Dude, that Wake Forest versus UNC game
Yeah.
was fucking absurd.
Yeah, and I think Wake Forest did the same thing like the next week too.
Uh-huh.
So like Pitt, Wake Forest, I'm going Pitt. I think just because Pitt's defense is good enough to just
Yes.
make that last final play, make that big play, or what, even if it's like a turnover, whatever it is. Like I think the defense is going to be the reason they win the game.
Sam Hartman, my second favorite quarterback ever. Well, he might be number one. I love Justin Fields coming out of QB1, but Sam Hartman, dude, his story, his attitude. He was a kid in high school, transferred schools to go with his old coach before he went to Wake Forest because he already committed. Turned a team from a no-win team to a playoff contender just by himself. A bunch of freaking scrubs out in I think it was South Carolina. Love him, love his story, but give me Pitt all day on this one. It's just too easy for me to love Pitt.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and I just want Kenny Pickett to be fucking dope. So, Houston, Cincy. I think it's going to be a great game, but I do think Cincy kind of takes care of business a little bit. I think it'll be kind of close, but I do think Cincy takes it, just like they have in the other big games they've played this year. They're there. I just hope they don't trip over themselves and fuck themselves out of getting in. So
yeah, give me Cincy as well. I want good vibes. I want them to get in. I don't care about anything other than seeing some new teams in that 4. So give me Cincy.
All right, Deke. I also want you to take a look at the records. You went 4-2 last week. I went 3-3. We're all tied up going into this last week.
Did we decide if Greg helped or hurt me?
Neither one. It was neutral.
Okay, deal. This will be the one that sways me when Iowa and Utah come out big. It's gonna be a big day. I'm gonna text you drunk at the wedding.
All right, nice. All right, don't tell my bookie. All right, Georgia, Alabama is my first game. I'm just going straight down the docket we just went over here. Bama, I do think is going to cover at 6.5. That line to me is crazy. I have seen some other lines closer to 3. I don't know if I would take 3. 6.5 though, I kind of like that, so I'm going to take Bama covering at plus 6.5 just because Saban is at the very least just going to make it close. I think. Michigan, Iowa. Michigan, I think is just rolling right now, and I think they cover at 10.5 just because they're going to run the fucking ball down Iowa's throat, and just Iowa's offense just can't do anything. Oregon, Utah, I'm going with the over here. Oregon 4 for 6 against the over in their last 6. Utah 6 for 8 in their last 8. And between these two teams, the over has hit 7 out of the last 9 games. So give me the over at 58. It's not exactly a crazy line, so I think it's going to hit. Baylor, Oklahoma State. I get why the line is what it is. Oklahoma State has played some pretty low-scoring games overall. This is a pretty low line for me, and for some reason, I just it's a gut thing where I think that it's going to be like a 30 to 33 game or something like that. So I'm going to take the over at 46.5. Pitt, Wake Forest, man, it's a high line right there, 71.5. It keeps kind of moving down as I keep looking over the week, but having said that, Pitt has hit the over 15 out of their last 20 games. Wake Forest like 6 out of their last 8, I think, and both teams in their 2 out of their last 4 games have both seen point totals over 83. So I do think this is going to be a very high scoring game. Give me the over on that one. Houston, Cincy, I think it's going to be a pretty close game, and I think that 10.5 is being a little generous towards Cincy. I do think that Houston covers. It might be a backdoor cover, but give me Houston covering if I had to pick one here.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I think that that's going to be close for Houston and Cincy. Houston's not a bad team. So 10.5 doesn't even seem fair for them. Pitt over on Wake Forest there, I think that's a no-brainer. The fact the difference between that over and the Oklahoma State Baylor over is just hysterical to me.
Yeah, you would have never thought that. Like 2 years ago, you would have never thought that. Like ACC, Big 12, you would have thought that'd be switched for sure.
Baylor having an over that's under 53 is astronomically weird to see.
Absolutely. I remember the days of Mason Rudolph passing to James Washington, putting up like 50 burgers every game.
Yep.
And that's just not the case anymore. So
no, he's shit. Or Oklahoma State doesn't either. But Mason Rudolph sucks. So
that too. All right. I don't even really want to do this.
I do.
But it's time.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. I was at a wedding. I was literally in the ceremony, like checking the score on my phone. I wanted to watch it, but my girlfriend was kind of yelling at me not to. But it was a good game. It was in the snow. Fucking special teams sucks. We got a pick six. Jahan Dotson continued to show that he is. I still think he's the best wide receiver in the country. He makes it look so fucking easy, especially in that weather. I don't really know where to go from here. Because you got to look at it. Franklin got a big-time extension. That makes me feel good, but also kind of weird. Brent Pry, gone. So we don't... And good for that guy. I'm not mad at him. Don't hold any ill will. It was honestly shocking that he hasn't made the move earlier. I just don't... I don't really know where to go from here. Next year is going to be so weird. Got some good guys coming in, but I don't really know. I'm looking forward to going to the Pinstripe Bowl because I guarantee that's where we're going to go. So
Pinstripe Bowl.
Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for it because I'm kind of close to it up here. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, true. I
wouldn't mind that. I don't know, man. This year just could have been so good. It could have made me feel so good. And
you guys really started strong. And I think you were fourth in the nation at 1.6.
Yeah. Fourth.
As is Penn State tradition, though.
Not like that, though. Not like that.
Keep telling yourself that.
No, it's never like that. It's always like we lose the big one to Ohio State, and then we always lose another one. So, and then we'll like end the year.
Wait, if Pitt didn't have their stupid fucking losses, they'd be probably
in the conversation.
Top. Yeah.
I don't know. It just the Franklin thing. It's interesting to me, dude. Have you seen?
Yeah, I'm a little interested in that.
Have you seen like his buyout clause? It is very friendly towards Franklin. Like, I forget how much money they would have to pay him, but they literally guaranteed they have to buy him out. Like, I think it's like
full contract,
not full contract, but like, no matter what happens, if he were to get fired, like he almost can't do any wrong. Like they have to pay him out, no matter what.
I have a very strong feeling James Franklin does not finish that contract.
I don't know. It's so weird to me because he's getting the fucking recruits. And he keeps recruiting better and better and better. And you know, like right now we have the third best player in the nation coming into next year's class. Best quarterback in the country. And they got him. They saw him early, right? They saw him when he was out of the top 100, and he rose a ton. So, and the number 20 running back in the nation. Like, they're getting the guys. The problem with Franklin is his in-game decision-making. And I know that I'm not a fucking football coach, and it's hard to criticize these guys because I'm not a fucking football coach. But goddamn, like, running 2 fake punts or kicks on the same fucking drive, that's fucking inexcusable. Like, it's that sort of shit that like I'm still in purgatory. I'll be in purgatory for another 10 years.
So the rest of that contract.
Yep. Well, and the only I heard Joel. I hate that I agree with so much of what Joel Klatt says because that guy can be just kind of a dickhead. But like
Yeah.
what he was saying was, I mean, you look at guys like James Franklin and Mel Tucker didn't take
Yep.
the big jobs. They took the jobs where they knew that they could build something.
Yep.
And look at Mike Gundy this year. He's been there since like '05. They're trying to build something, and you got to give him credit for that. And I do think that what will happen is since he took this contract, the university will shell out the money that he wants to upgrade facilities, upgrade dorms.
Hopefully, they have to.
They have to. Otherwise, he wouldn't have
No.
agreed to it. Like, and maybe it's just me telling myself that, but I do. That
Probably.
has to be it. But I don't know, man. Just we were in so many of those games. The Illinois game was inexcusable.
That's terrible. Yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. And I get that they were fucking motivated against Ohio State, but I mean, it was a one-score game against Michigan.
Yep.
And Iowa fucking
Michigan State's one score.
Yeah, Michigan State one score. Fucking Iowa one score. Ohio State didn't lose. I think it was maybe over one score, but it was still like within 10.
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
So like, I don't really know. I just don't know how to feel because like I don't know. Our Canadian kid's good. If they lose, good, cool.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, he seems like a dope dude. Seems like he has some fun. But
Yeah, I like when he tripped one into the tunnel.
yeah, that picture of him lying on the ground playing dead was fucking hilarious.
Awesome.
But I don't know.
You'll be okay. There's always next year.
Yeah, but I'm sick of saying that.
I know.
Last year we started off so fucking poorly, and then we came on strong at the end of the year. So at least last year I was like, oh, I feel at least
next
okay.
year will be good. Yeah,
I feel at least okay. And then this year was a complete opposite, and like, my god. Anyway, all right.
You're doing great, buddy.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, I guess. Deke, it's been a good one.
Yes, sir.
We're pretty close to wrapping up the season here. First season
Yeah.
of All-Purpose Garbage. So, probably have to talk about how we want to wrap it up, how many more we want to do, and that sort of thing, because we'll have that weird law for a few weeks. So, probably I don't know if there will be a ton to talk about, but yeah, we'll talk through that. But appreciate everyone tuning in.
Turn it into a mock draft show.
Yeah, we could. What else? Do you have anything else?
Tomorrow, well, I guess it's tonight. Tonight, check out Two Beers Deep. Dre is filling in for Greg. We will announce our next giveaway, I think. And then Sunday morning, no show, no betting show. I will be in Miami for a wedding and no one can cover, which is fine. And I'm okay with that. Monday, you can check out Draft Day, where we'll be back. That show has consistently been the funniest one we have on air, which I love. Tuesday, Rankings Court, and then right back Wednesday with us.
Nice. All right, cool.
Shout out to November.
Shout out November. All right. This has been All Purpose Garbage, the college football show for idiots. I just fucking had a stroke right there. Deke, it's been a good one. Yeah, idiots.